It all starts back when I was in seminary, in the early days, more decades ago than I want to count. A young pastor had been called at my home church, Marjorie Thompson, and she at the time was offering spiritual direction. And I didn't know what that was, but when she explained that it's essentially listening to God's story and listening to the way God is working in my life, I knew I wanted to learn more about that. And so she became my first spiritual director. Throughout all of those years, something was drawing me to offer something even deeper, one-on-one or even a group setting. And I was strongly attracted to offering spiritual direction. Well, a few years ago, when I was quite unexpectedly called to be a pastor in a small federated church in rural Vermont, a flyer came across my desk, and it was for Gateways to God, a program offered through Rolling Ridge. I'd never heard of Rolling Ridge, and in fact, this was their first Gateways to God cohort. I was in it. I found that program to be so helpful. It was one of the best introductions to spiritual direction, I think, probably out there, at least for those who are practicing in a Christian context. And when I first set foot on the Rolling Ridge campus, it was magical. And in fact, you walk through a gateway in the courtyard to come to the space where the learning and the community building takes place. So it was the perfect opportunity to learn how to receive spiritual direction and also to offer spiritual direction. And from there, I received an invitation to become a small group supervisor for the Gateways program, and then later an advanced program, which has now become Deep Listening in the Neighborhood. Deep listening in the neighborhood, what does that mean? It means more than just hearing. To me, it means being open with your whole being and being aware, and also walking into a situation with curiosity, with open eyes, with open ears, with an open heart. And sometimes it means literally walking into the neighborhood you think you know. Whether that neighborhood is literally outside the door of your dwelling, or the place where you work, or perhaps a place where you shop, the library. It invites us to walk into a place where we think we know and abandon what we think we know and take in what's happening around us, the sights, the sounds, with curiosity. And so if I were to ask a question as you think about preparing for this journey yourself, I think it's more that I would ask, can you set aside what you think you know and come into a place that maybe is familiar to you with open eyes and an open heart, seeking what God is doing there, and being prepared to listen to the whole being, to the whole person who's in front of you, and to receive that story, receive their story as a sacred gift in this place that you know is surrounded by the love and light of God.